Hey, what's going on? Hunter here. In this video, I want to break down how we are going to be running our webinars moving forward in our online coaching business. Now, this is a new funnel to us. And so everything I'm about to share is just best practices that we've taken from other people who've seen success in their webinars. And we're going to put these into place, run our own tests, and see what tweaks we have to make. So if you're thinking about running a webinar, here is the reasons why a lot of people are going this direction versus a more traditional route like a VSL, which is essentially a video sales letter, a video that's static, that's evergreen, that stays right there. A webinar is a live event, and it gives you the opportunity to interact more with your potential customers, build more of an experience, and ultimately build trust with them so that they feel confident in making a purchase with you. Specifically, in our case, a higher ticket purchase. So let's go through the anatomy of what this could look like. Now, we're going to start off here with you have to drive traffic to a registration page. And so we're going to click here and you can see we've got ads, but this could also be driven from your email list. This could be driven from your social media, from your Facebook groups, any place that's going to send traffic. Obviously, we need to do that. And we're going to drive that to a landing page or a registration page. Now, once they register, they'll hit a thank you page. And then over the course of a couple days, they will go to the webinar. So from what I've understood, best practices is typically Sundays, Tuesdays, or Thursdays are the best days for webinars. People just tend to show up for whatever reason in their schedule. I've seen people talk about doing webinars once a month to their warm audience. I've seen people talk about doing 3 webinars to their cold audience every single week. So I think that makes sense. Figure out who are you targeting. If it's going to be somebody who's never heard of you and you're not in front of the same people every time you promote, then it makes sense to have more frequent ones as long as they're profitable for you. However, if you are running just to your warm audience, you have to be aware that if you keep hitting them with the same offer, let's say every single week or multiple times a week, they're going to get saturated with that offer pretty quickly. You may need to mix up, have multiple types of webinars or different types of offers in general. So best practice, from what I understand, is one time a month in webinars to warm traffic, and you can do as frequent as you want in all reality, as long as you can maintain quality to a cold audience. All right, so once we do the webinar, we're going to be driving people to a link, some sort of application, and the opportunity to book a call with us. And so this application actually will have certain questions in place that will split people off based off of logic to identify, do they have high intent? Are they low intent? Are they somewhere in between? And based off of how they answer those questions, then that will route them to a different calendar. So if you've got limited calendar space, or if you just want to put your most qualified potential clients in front of your best salespeople, then what you need to do is put your qualified ones based off how they answer their questions onto one calendar, and then route the others to maybe a quote unquote unqualified calendar to your less successful closers. So you have your highest chance of being successful and moving people into your program. Now, once you do that, once they do book their call and their application with you, they will get a thank you page. What's really great on this thank you page and considerations would be to have a list of videos that are going to answer the most frequently asked questions. I want you to think about the questions that you might get when people are talking in the webinar, in the chat. Maybe if they know they're going into booking a program, which they probably should be at this point if they went through your webinar, what common questions do people ask you all the time that could keep them from signing up? How do they know it's for them, and how do they know it's not for them? Make a list of videos or at least FAQ sort of drop downs answering those questions so that they're more confident and more likely to show up. And also, so they're more educated going into the sales call. Your sales rep can focus on actually doing the sale versus educating them completely. Now, they absolutely can educate. That can be a part of it. But if we can reduce the education portion for your sales team, then that's going to make things nice and smooth. So you are, yes, going to see a split of people who book qualified and a split of people who are not qualified. Now, here's what we're also going to do. We have two parts of our program. So we have our higher ticket price, and then we have our group price. So higher ticket is going to be more individualized one-on-one, and our medium ticket is going to be more of a group coaching with support program. And so for those who go through our higher intent calendar, we're going to start by offering them the option that will be best for them. They have high intent. Let's get them into our one-on-one program. And the people who have lower intent, we're going to move them into our group program, and then later attempt to ascend them to that one-on-one for the highest successful close rate, essentially. If we go to people who don't have the intent, aren't as interested, and we just try and go for the big thing up front, yes, if they say no, we can step them down. But just historically, what we found when we do this is after so many step downs, people feel like, especially going from a one-on-one service to then a group service, people feel like they're not going to get what they need. And so pitching people the right program off the start, if we can really dial in on that, that's going to make a difference in your close rate for sure. And also it's going to serve your customer at a higher level because more people will get involved, and we still get that chance for the second sale later on if they take that lower priced item, that medium ticket. So we've got one-on-one coaching and then group coaching here. So yes, we are about 2 webinars in. We have done a warm webinar and we've done a cold webinar, and it was very different. I'll just share some numbers with you. We're actually halfway through the sales process. We haven't taken any calls yet for the cold webinar, but we have gone through the entire warm webinar process and everything. And our show rate was drastically lower with the same page, the same funnel, the same everything on the cold as it was the warm, which makes sense. I want to say our show rate was about 15% to about 50%. So 15 on the cold, 50% on the warm. And that obviously makes a big difference right off the rip. You're basically lowering the amount of calls you can by like 3x. So that is one thing we're noticing. And of course, we can focus on pixel conditioning more the next time we do a cold webinar to get more people on. Maybe we adjust the day. Maybe we adjust how far out we market. So we started marketing like on a Wednesday, and the webinar was on a Monday. So maybe if we started just marketing a couple days out with a bigger budget, then more people would be more likely to show since it's within a closer time period. But that's just something we need to test. I don't know if that's true or not. But anyways, the point of this video is to give you the anatomy of how we're thinking about running this. I'm sure we're going to make adjustments as we run this more to both more warm traffic and more cold traffic. I'm curious, are you currently doing a webinar, or are you confused about any of these steps that I just laid out for you? If you are, let me know down in the comments below, and I'd be happy to jump in and help. If you like this video, please hit like, and also consider subscribing. We'll see you next time.